Ebe ọma na-ege ntị, anyị ekene unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi tata. Daalụ niile unu si na-esoro anyị na-eme dị iche iche n'iru akwụkwọ. Anyị si n'ụbọchị nketa ya adịrị na anyị mma, na ụbọchị nketa ga-amara na anyị mma, na anyị ga-adị ka echi, na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru otu akọ ya dịrịrị. Ise ise ise. Dịka o si gbata wee kwụrụ, dịka o si dị, anyị kwere unu nkwa na anyị ga na-ewetara unu ọpdeti n'elu akwụkwọ a, dịka o si aga na dịka unu si anụ ya. Nke dịka ibe ya bụ ife anyị na-akpọkwa ya bụ morning tea ka anyị na-akpọkwa ya, and tata bụkwa bụ 21st of December 2023. Yes, ihe wetara unu bụ Biafran Prime Minister and the Ambazonian leader, the ally formed in collaboration to exist from their country, nke bụ Cameroon and Nigeria. So achọrọ m ka o si m n'ọnụ pụta gee ya bụ ife ka ịnụ ihe the Ambazonian leader and also the Biafran Prime Minister negotiate n'iru akwụkwọ a. So ị ga-esi ya bụ ife drop right comment gị ife iche gbasata maka ya bụ ife on the commission below. All right, over to you, sir.
The British administered Ambazonia as part of the Eastern House of Assembly. And in 1953, Ambazonia declared what we call the benevolent existence. And in the same year, in London, asked to be separated from the Eastern House of Assembly. That happened. 1954, there was an election in Ambazonia, and Dr. E.M. Endele was elected as the Prime Minister and took office on the 1st of October. When Ambazonia moved out of the Eastern House of Assembly, there was no gunshot. There was no genocide. There was no attack on the existence of Ambazonia. There was no attempt to burn down our villages. There was no attempt to commit massacres, to murder our people. We established the first democratic government within the continent of Africa through a free and fair election. During that coexistence and slightly beyond, Ambazonia had 3 international airports, 2 functional seaports, strong economy, vibrant civil society, intellectuals who could articulate the dreams of our people without psychological torture. You need another example in comparison to determine why this alliance is important. Just a whisper from Ambazonian students for an educational system that reflects a socioeconomic and political reality. They are murdered. Just simple demonstrations for the right to freedom of assembly, freedom of speech. People are kidnapped, renditioned, incarcerated, detained under inhuman and degrading conditions. The airports became runways for military jets that brought in ammunition for villages to be burnt. The seaports that existed were shut down for seaports within Cameroon. Ambazonian economy totally collapsed. Educational system asphyxiated. Lawyers and teachers harassed, tortured, kidnapped, and hunted like game. This is the price we pay as Ambazonians under Cameroon's occupation. Thousands and thousands of our people live in squalor without hope. The only hope is the exit. On the other hand, thousands of Biafrans live in our homeland. They've established businesses, they have made, they've created opportunities for Ambazonians, they've reinvested the profit they have made in Ambazonia, building homes, expanding their businesses, creating a vibrant trade route between Enugu and Boya. This has benefited our people immensely. Intermarriages between Biafrans and Ambazonians. The Biafrans who live in our homeland live with us. There is no hierarchy. You compare with Cameroonians who've hijacked a city like Victoria, the only refinery that exists, they've hijacked it. They live in exclusive quarters. They use deals and SDOs to acquire our lands, disenfranchise our people, then bring in the gendarmes, the Turks called the bees, to murder our people. You still want to know why this alliance is important? It is important because in our weakest moment, Biafra has hosted hundreds of thousands of our people. Our refugees have found a place to call home. Thousands of our people have taken refuge in Biafra land. If you need to know why this alliance is important, it cuts across beyond Ambazonia and Biafra. We are setting an example for the continent that the archaic configuration designed in Berlin with artificial borders imposed will be dismantled to ensure that nations are able to emerge, establish political institutions over their nations that ensure that their resources are exploited for the benefit of their people, that will build vibrant civil society, create opportunities, harness the intelligence of our people for the benefit of our people and beyond. And that presidents and rulers will not rise to power through corrupt elections, through the support of corporations that exploit our resources, create environmental degradation to the advantage of foreign corporations, to the advantage of distant citizens, when you cannot, within Biafra, find a hospital where you can have medical care free of charge, where you cannot have an exemplary educational institution that educate the Biafran and the Ambazonians to prepare them for the future, that will live like pigs, will live like animals, will live like we are in a concentration camps, lorded over by invaders who've used our resources to arm themselves to the teeth to murder our people, and then go around kidnap leaders, rendition them, lock them up. They expect us to continue to sing Kumbaya. We will buy rifles, we will arm ourselves, and we will build a strong force within the continent that will put an end to the tyranny of a minority supported by Western superpowers. This alliance is important for me as the leader of the Ambazonian people. And I know that it is important for the Biafran people. I know both nations have been stigmatized. We have been attacked as Biafrans, like people without dignity. The Biafrans has been derided, their integrity attacked. If you look at their contribution to the GDP of Nigeria, you would expect Nigeria to reciprocate with respect and development. I know we will continue to do great things. We will build the longest highway from Enugu to Boya. We would ensure that you can live in Enugu and work in Boya. We will make sure that in both nations, if you live in Ambazonia, you cross into Biafra, you can have free medical care. And that when you raise your passport as an Ambazonian or a Biafran, you are given a military salute. not only for the sacrifices that we make to establish these both countries, but to undermine the tyranny that has deprived millions of people within our continent from pursuing life in freedom and liberty. I pass over to the Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, uh, Your Excellency, the President of the Governing Council of Ambazonia, Dr. Chiu. Thank you for that well elaborated uh, reasons why this alliance between our both countries are very, very important and very imperative, especially at this point. I want everyone to understand that as a Biafran, you can never attain your potential anywhere in the world. It does not matter what you are today, where you reside. It does not matter what you are in your country of residence. You can never attain your potential. I want you to understand that the alliance between Biafra and Ambazonia is to make sure we use every mechanism and measures possibly available to us to restore and liberate our nation so that you can come back from wherever you are residing, every part of the world, to develop yourself and join building one of the best countries in Africa. And there you are going to attain your potential and challenge that it comes with. You will attain your potential in the Biafra nation and at the same time compete among the best in the world. Today, we have seen, after decades of subjugation, the role of the British in this particular subjugation that Biafra has found themselves today within Nigeria. From the 1914 amalgamation, we were not informed about the type of company that later become a country today known as Nigeria. Those who agitated for Nigeria to become a Nigeria, as you see today, were not murdered, they were not imprisoned, they were not killed because of one single reason: the economic interest of the United Kingdom. They made sure that they design Nigeria in a way that it powers and empowers their economic interests. And those who agitated for the freedom of Nigeria, for the independence of Nigeria, were all welcome, even in London. They served them tea, they served them dinner, they embraced them, and they called them heroes. Of innovation and supporting Sunai. Those who say that innovation are evil or innovation is evil, they hijacked the power as designed by the United Kingdom. After
ndị be anyị ekenenu m unu ọzọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi tata n'ụwa na focus gbata wee kwuru dịka nkwa ekwere unu ebe na-enye n'update n'iru akwụkwọ gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si aga and gbasịta maka ka ya bụ ife si ada n'iru akwụkwọ. ịmana unu watch ife na-emenụ ige ihe the leader of Ambazonia na-ekwu n'iru akwụkwọ a gbasịta maka colonization na-emegasị dị iche iche and the way fayejimajia wee mee exist from their own country, and the same thing ka Biafran Prime Minister na-ekwukwe n'iru akwụkwọ. Dịka o si dị, gịnị ka ị nwere ike ikwu n'ụdị nke gbasịta maka ya bụ nnukwu development ya batara nụ between the two freedom fighters? Ka ife nwere ike ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife, drop kwala ya on the comment section below ka anyị gosi ya ndị mba ụwa dịka anyị si kwuo n'ụkwa na anyị ga na-ewetara unu ọpdeti ọbụla bụ gbasịta maka ife a na-azọ ya na gbasịta maka nwere onwe ka esi dịrị n'Igbo na mma. Daalụ niile na ụmụ Chineke si na-esoro anyị asị m anyị nọrọ si mee gịnị ya kọrọ nwanne ya ọ gwanakwa ha m n'ọnụ. Thank you and stay tuned at Eastern News 24 ka emesịa nụ ndị be anyị.